It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Wraith video. Today we're showcasing one of the strongest builds for Wraith probably in the game right now. Even with the gen regression nerfs, we're still able to utilize this particular build here to completely dominate the lobbies and really make Wraith the strongest, one of the strongest stealth killers in the game right now. So you're gonna see right here, we immediately can uncloak strategically and are able to immediately get a grab right off the bat. And we can use that to then take them to a pain res, depending on, sometimes they bring toolboxes, so you want to knock down as much progress as you can from the very beginning of the match. I don't tend to hold out with my tokens because gen speeds are ridiculous. The gen glitch is a thing, you know what I'm saying, where if you get a kill early, it will get, they will get 2 for the price of 1 when it comes to a generator. You don't want to deal with that. And as you can see here, I bamboozled the window and then try to force them to drop the pallet there. They just were not going for it. So what I should have done there was just gone straight through. Is brute force it out, because ultimately, that's why I went for the swing. Even though I knew it wasn't going to land, I just wanted to make sure I cleared out the pallet. They're busy just double vaulting, wasting their own time. So that's when we start uncloaking. I realized with this kind of lobby, like, you can kind of sense it. When you're playing, when you play a lot of DVD, you can kind of sense what kind of lobby you're getting into, just based off of a different thing. So when they were like spam vaulting, I was like, all right, I know exactly the kind of strategy I want to utilize here, which is trying to get Lara out of the game as soon as possible. Now she's immediately trying to pop balance and lose her mind, so that's why we're gonna go ahead and try to mind game it here. And we also have BAM. All right, so we also have BAM. We also know that we have Dissolution. Dissolution is definitely a very underrated perk. And you definitely want to get value out of that from certain killers. It does provide an anti-loop. As you can see, we were able to get the mind game there, and then immediately are able to now hook them for the second time. Now, judging just by the lobby, right? Like, all I saw was them spam vaulting the vault, and I was like, that pallet, and I was like, I can kind of tell what lobby I'm in right now. I know exactly what to utilize. And it's something minor like that that can be the defining variable. Now, I was trying to uncloak here to maybe catch them out in the open. I was not able to do that. Now, I'm also going to mention I'm using these Shadow Step add-ons, so it makes you vault faster, so that's why we instantly vault, which then forces out the Shag pallet. I should have baited the uncloak, but what we do now is we go ahead and cloak up again, and then try to make our way back around to the survivor that just got unhooked, because I can tell. Now, also keep in mind they have flashlights, and the only way they can really get value off of a flashlight is most likely just going for a save. And as you can see, the Yui's already running in, trying to body block, get in the way. And this is the type of slowdown we're looking for in a lobby like this. This is ultimately what it is, right? We take advantage of the weaknesses. We take advantage of what they have to offer. So we figure, all right, let's M1, go through the pallet so that I'm able to do that. Dissolution will activate. And then, the other one just vaulted, so that just got rid of a pallet. And now she goes in and takes the body block for her so that I can, once again, down her, get more slowdown that way, and then proceed to follow the Lara here, which we utilize the mind game again. We're utilizing the mind games there. We're like kind of looking around. It does give us a little bit of distance, but not enough, because the side of that tile is very long. But we still have Dissolution, so that's obviously what we want to be focusing on. Now, the good thing about Dissolution is that you may not be able, you may not have to, I should say, you may not have to mind game as much. Because of the fact that it is active the entire time. Now, here's the thing I noticed, right? I knew Jake was going to be by that gen with the flashlight. So what I did was, I was like, let me at least get my pain res first, bait him to try to get into position, so that means off the gen. Bait him to get into the position of trying to save, so then I can then use that to run my advantage. So what he did instead was gone and picked up the Lara, which now you can see he's shining the light, losing his mind. Then she just kind of stood there, so I got the down from there. I think she was trying to camp the pallet, and then I just pick up because I know he's behind me, so he can't blind from that direction. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and place them on the hook over there. And now we got somebody out of the game at the 3-gen mark, as we should. We're also splitting pressure, getting them to heal each other. We also we also hear that this survivor is over here still injured, and ultimately what we're trying to do in this position here is try to mind game it, because we do have the time now, despite the gen glitch, right? Like, despite the gen glitch, we can still make something happen here. And that's why we're trying to utilize the mind games here, trying to hide the light as best we can. They did start healing, so that means that they were stagnant for a little bit, which allowed me to then go ahead and get the knockdown from there. and then we can pick up and use our Pain Res, which is pretty close range. We do want to be quick about it because if they do complete one gen, it'll actually complete 2 at the same time. So that's what we were trying to do. Now I did forget actually as I'm recording this that that was the second hook for the Yui. So no Pain Res stack off of that, but that is a-okay. Because by this point we already sort of took the lobby, what they were trying to do, and we flipped it on its head, and we have them just do what they're trying to like do. Oh yeah, and then this one quit too. So we just gone ahead and put them on the hook. Yeah, it was pretty much over after that. I was able to eliminate the survivor. We have Dissolution value here. We can knock them down for some jolt. We just go ahead and start hooking them too. You know, we start dragging them over to the Pain Res if we're able to. I think I had gone for the nearest hook though, just to get them out of the lobby a lot sooner. But that will be the end of the video for you guys. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the build in the comments. We'll have more kinds of videos in the future with Wraith, but for right now, you know, we have this one. I think it was probably the best one to analyze because I figure it was able to sort of point out a couple of vital things, which is being able to read your opponents and stuff like that. And that even applies to other games like fighting games and other things like that. Just being able to read your opponent is going to be the key. And I was able to kind of get the feeling from the this type of team that they were going to be about the altruism, which will provide a bit of slowdown. So with that. Alright, we're back with yet another gameplay for the Wraith. I know we probably haven't seen much Wraith on the channel, so I wanted to go ahead and make a video for him, showcasing probably the strongest build you can have on the Wraith right now. Probably the best build you can have on Wraith, providing slowdown, anti-loop. You got everything. You got it. Now Wraith, honestly, with this build has become one of the more fun killers to play. And now, as you can see here, we have the, what you can see by the 2 add-ons, we have something for pallet breaking. It pretty much also affects vaulting speed. So Ace over here is using the Sprint Burst perk off the bat. I figured no point in chasing him. Go somewhere else. Why not? Why not? So right here is where you can see from the beginning. Ideally, what we're trying to do is sort of rotate around and find where the gen has any progress.
Wow.
Which I saw the Ace player, but I figured there's no point in really chasing him. I wanted to go where the gens were.
I don't even get the grab,
I got robbed
bro.
there, unfortunately, but we were able to get the grab in the process because we were getting greedy. Which means that despite getting a gen done, we also get a Pain Res hook and also a hook in general, which means that we can then start to make our way around in order to start applying more pressure. Now, a character like Wraith is going to be very focused on stealth, as you can see, by using the Eerie Clapper, the Coxcombed, if you will. That type of add-on will make your bell silent, which makes Wraith a lot more deadly because you can really hear what the heck is going on. Didn't realize it was live until it was too late, so I did end up wasting a swing there, which is unfortunate. But we continue to follow him. Obviously, we're trying to focus on splitting pressure, getting into with chases as soon as possible, and being able to get ourselves another Pain Res active, of course. Now, we pretty much rotated back around to where the Pain Res was initially, so that we're just going to go ahead and fly right through and then go ahead and place them on the hook and pretty much automatically. That is the way to go about it, I mean, ultimately. Now, another perk I'm going to quickly touch on while I'm commentating over this is going to be the idea that Dissolution has some pretty solid value. You definitely will see some of its value in the process here. So as you can see here, what I was trying to do was like do a little bit of a mind game. But what I should have done was while cloaked, vaulted in. That probably, because with the add-on I have, increases the vaulting speed by 60% while in the cloak. So what I could have done was just cloaked up, stayed cloaked and maybe vaulted, like got in front of him, vaulted. You know what I mean? That probably would have been a better option. So I did misplay it slightly there. Jill decided to completely book it to a vault there, but the Lara Croft perk is kind of coming into play. That's how we're trying to go ahead and split pressure. They're going gens before friends, so I figured now is my opportunity to make my way over to get the save. Now here's something small I did, which was vault in to get bamboozled behind me. So so I can force the so they can't vault behind and then try to get the save faster. As you can see, we're down at the 2-gen mark. We downed them. I figured what I can do is I'll leave them on the ground and start to get the Nicolas Cage out of the game. I figured, wait a minute, he does have live, but he's also on death hook because they were so focused on pushing out the gens at the speed of light that they are going to end up losing a teammate for it. Now, this is one of the things that I always say is to kind of play toward, you know, what the flow of the match is. So obviously you can see there's a lot of people ready to go try to save the guy. I did end up misplaying it there, and you can see like they're really trying to force some kind of altruism. I figured I ignore them. There's no point in going for a swing unless you cannot pass. Then I would go for the swing, but in most cases I really would not want to waste my opportunity. Now we have Bloodlust 3. We're gonna go for the hit anyway because we are getting blocked in. That guy, we're not going to smack him. There's no point. But the other one, we did because he just couldn't pass. But we also know that with the altruism kicking in right here, because I think they're trying to correct their mistake, which was letting their teammate just kind of die there. So I figured, well, even if I get stunned or not, we still get rid of the pallet. This one's like camping behind me to slam a pallet down. Probably not their best play. And then we just give them a hit as well. And I figure, well, now we have the maximum amount of pressure, we can go ahead and pick up facing the wall. They have no way to blind. I figure I might as well kill him before magically there's going to be some kind of like unbreakable play or something you know, of that nature, exponential. Who knows, right? There could easily be something, adrenaline, somehow 2 gens fly. You never know, right? So that's why I would rather you know, just take advantage of getting them out of the game. I did end up missing my swing there, but we knocked him down regardless. And then that's when we try to go ahead and pick him up and start using our pain resistance from there. Now, I will say, definitely one of the strongest builds on Wraith. Arguably. Surge being as good as it is, especially because Wraith is all about the M1s. I believe even if you use your, you know, even if you uncloak and hit, it's still an M1. So it does get you points for a surprise attack, but I believe it still counts as an M1 because it's not an M2 that's dealing damage. So it is going to allow you to get Jolt. Bamboozle is also just a great perk for M1 killers. Also, Dissolution is also very powerful in situations. It provides essentially an M1 killer with an anti-loop that may not have one. So a character like Wraith can really get a lot of value from it. And then Pain Res is always a good option to have at least a second choice in terms of gen regression. And the Eerie add-on for the Clapper does make it so that Wraith is quite powerful in stealth, because one of the biggest giveaways when he is kind of going around and uncloaking is going to be the sound of the bell, because they can obviously, you know, hear the sound. Even if you use the yellow add-on, which is only I would honestly recommend the yellow add-on if you are more experienced with Wraith, because you want to be able to uncloak while hidden, so that you can just kind of pop around corners in order to get some good hits in. And getting that first hit, it's very similar to Ghostface, where if you just get that hit in, man, it is key. So here is, you're gonna see Ace like flying into the basement here, which I already kind of could tell what the heck was going on. And you guys are going to see it too, but we're going to entertain it in the video because I want you guys to see it. I think it's actually hilarious how this works. So he decides to go deliberately into the basement after getting hit on first hook. You know, flew into a locker and everything, right? So I figured, let me wait outside of Shack until he unhooks himself, and that's exactly what he did. Because I cloaked up and, you know, you don't have a terror radius, so that will make him think I left, and then we can just go ahead and start to chase him. Which he has to slam that. All of a sudden his teammates flying in. I guess dude was struggling to get the blind, or he ran out of batteries, but either way. So he's waiting on the check spot thinking I'm going to chase him. I really don't care. What I want to do is rotate around and actually start cloaking to go follow the Ace. Because he's really trying to brute force his perk value for some reason, and that's when I just start to go after him. So you're gonna see a little bit of a little mind game I do here with Wraith. We kind of sway back and forth just a little bit out of range to bait them to try to slam it, because you know they do want to go get extra distance, and obviously if you stun Wraith while he's cloaked, it's gonna actually stun for much longer than normal. So by kind of swaying in that way, it does kind of bait them to want to slam it at the right time. Which will allow you to get the which will allow you to get the free pallet break, especially when you're using the add-on to break pallets faster. I do argue that I think it's called Shadow Step is probably the best add-on you want to have in conjunction with this build, especially because Bamboozle already gives you 15%. On top of the fact that while cloaked it's 60, so that's over 75% vault speed, and you block the window, so you'll be able to like completely eliminate Shack as an option. You'll be able to also get rid of pallets very easily because of not only can you just break them normally by kicking it with your cloak, but also you have Dissolution coming into play, which is also very, very, very good. A lot of different things are like kind of working together in this build, and I do recommend it for anybody trying to play Wraith. Like, you know, definitely use this build. You're gonna have a good time. It's probably the best build at this point. You know what I'm saying? It synergizes perfectly. Everything works the way it should, and ultimately, I have to say, like, a very, very good build. Which I will admit I did not get a lot of Dissolution value in this particular gameplay. Personally, I'm still learning the perk, but it does have its value in the right circumstances. In the right circumstances, you know what I'm saying? Which is ultimately like you got to get the hit first, and then you just rotate around the pallet, forcing them to want to go for the vault of some kind, or they have to go down for it. Now, they may or may not get hatched. They usually spawn hatched pretty close to the survivors, but I believe they might not be able to. Now, one of the other key things I do also say to do is to try to like cloak up while closing the gap on the survivors, but it's a little bit tricky to do that sometimes. Sometimes you just want to go for the regular follow. They might have Dead Hard, which they did indeed have Dead Hard, as you just saw there. Probably one of the best things to do is to definitely fake it in that way. Because a lot of survivors are going to try to do spin moves and all these types of FOV techs, and then also Dead Hard on top of that, just to try to throw you off. And they just immediately got demolished for it. So definitely use that as well if you are learning Wraith or you're new to Wraith. For anything at all, just try to press your little cloak like that, like how you see me do. I just press like cloak real quick. It makes you move your arm up, so that makes them think that you're actually going to swing. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And, you know, check the links in the description for ways to support the channel. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to other YouTube things for me. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.